In this video we will discuss about the ultrasonic flow measurement. There are two main methods we can use. One is the transit time measurement and the second is the Doppler effect. We will learn about the both. The fundamental difference is that the transit time method can be used for clean fluids and the Doppler reflection and the Doppler effect type can be used for dirty slurry types fluids. The transit time flow meter devices send pulses of ultrasonic energy diagonally across the pipe. So this will send the ultrasonic pulses. The transit time is measured from when the transmitter sends the pulse and when the receiver detects the pulse. So this time is calculated and this time difference is the proportional to the flow. Each location contains a transmitter and a receiver. The pulses are sent alternatively upstream and the downstream. We have two devices, both having a transmitter and a receiver. And the velocity of the flow is calculated from the time difference between the two directions. So in the both directions we will transmit and receive the ultrasonic energy, and we will calculate the time difference which is proportional to the flow. As you can see, W mount, V mount and Z mount ultrasonic meters, they both have transmitter and receiver, and one transmitter will send the ultrasonic and the other receiver will receive it. So the second device which have also a transmitter will transmit and the first one will receive. So this difference is equal to the flow. Designs are available that allow installation and removal of the transducer without interrupting the process flow. So we can remove and install without disturbing the flow. However, there are three main options available for the installation. One is the fitted section of pipe, second is the clamp on, and third is the transducer installed in situ. Fitted section of pipe. Manufacturer supplies a section of pipe fitted with the transducer factory mounted. So this will be a section of pipe which has a transducer. These units have the advantage of being calibrated by the manufacturer to meet specification. So these are the factory calibrated. There is no need to calibrate these transmitters on the site. Allowances need to be made when fitting this section of pipe, something that can complicate existing installation. So they should be take care about the installation. As you can see, this is a section fitting. A sensor is fitted in a section of pipe, and with the flanges we can connect this old device inside the pipe. Clamp on. These transducers have the added advantage of being easy to install. They are mounted outside of the existing pipe, so there is no need to cut the pipe and fit inside. We can just clamp on. Since no section of pipe need to be installed, then this type of flow meter is easy retrofitted onto an existing system. So this is very easy to install this. They can be installed on metal type pipe or the plastic or the ceramic pipe. We can install on the any type of pipe because they are portable and non-intrusive. Clamp on devices provide a good means of determining flow rates of the unknown flow in an existing installation. A cheaper option is to install the transducer into the pipework. If we want to fit inside the pipe, we can install, and this is cheaper, but it is difficult to remove in the process running. This does require stepping into the pipe, and care needs to be taken to ensure the correct angle and the tolerance are adhered to. So we will tape inside the pipe and we will thread this sensor inside. This method generally requires calibration by the user once installed. So after the installation we have to calibrate the flow meter. Clamp-on designs are limited because of the differing medium in which the ultrasonic signal pass through. So there are a few mediums through which the ultrasonic energy can pass. Transit time ultrasonic flow measurement is suited for clean fluids like process fluids consist of water, liquefied gases and the natural gas. Here you can see a transit time flow meter. It has two devices, both having transmitter and receiver. One is on the upstream and one is on the downstream. This is a clamp on flow meter. You can see on the pipe we just clamp on this flow meter and no need to cut the pipe and fix it inside. There is a physical clamp on meter. You can see on the pipe we have clamped on this flow meter. So this is the way we use clamp on meter. The second method is the Doppler effect. The Doppler effect device relies on objects with varying density in the flow stream to return the ultrasonic energy. So the energy will be reflected by the flow medium, the material which is flowing through the pipe. With the Doppler effect, a beam of ultrasonic energy is transmitted diagonally through the pipe, same as the transit time, but proportion of this ultrasonic energy are reflected back from particles in the stream of varying density. So this ultrasonic is reflected by the particles of the medium we want to measure the flow. Since the objects are moving, the reflected ultrasonic energy has a different frequency. So this will change the frequency of the reflected ultrasonic and we can measure this velocity and it will be proportional to the flow. Here you can see this ultrasonic is reflected by the particles back to the receiver and it have a different velocity. Its velocity will change, frequency will change, and this change in frequency is proportional to the flow. The amount of difference between the original and return signal is proportional to the flow velocity. So by this means we can measure the flow of the slurry materials or the materials having particles. It is quite common for only one sensor to be used. This contains both the transmitter and receiver. These can also be mounted outside of the pipe like a clamp-on flow meter. As the Doppler flow meter relies on reflection from the flow stream, it therefore requires sufficiently sized solids or bubbles inside the fluid. It is also required that the flow be fast enough to maintain a suitable quantity of solids and bubbles in suspension. Then we will be able to measure the flow. Higher frequency Doppler flow meters are also available, but they are limited to cleaner fluids. They cannot measure the slurries or the most ultrasonic flow meters are mounted on outside of the pipe and thus operate without coming in contact with the fluid. Because they are fitted outside, they have no contact with the fluid. Apart from not obstructing the flow, they will not obstruct the flow. They are not affected by corrosion, erosion or viscosity, so they are safe because they have not any contact with the medium which is flowing inside the pipe. Most ultrasonic flow meters are bidirectional and sense flow in either direction. so there is no need to fix in one direction. Now we will see the advantage. Fast response installed on existing installation, not affected by fluid properties. These are the advantages of the ultrasonic flow meters. Suitable for large diameter pipe, no obstructions, no pressure loss, no moving parts, so the life is long and they are maintenance free. Disadvantage is that accuracy is dependent on flow profile. Fluid must be acoustically transparent. Error caused by build up in pipe only possible in limited application, and they are expensive. Now we will see the question, what is ultrasonic measurement? Ultrasonic measurement is the contactless principle and used for measuring the level of corrosive, boiling and hot liquids. Because they are contactless, so we can measure these. How accurate are ultrasonic flow meters? These meters provide extremely good accuracy and work well for dirt-free flow, otherwise liquid flow with small particles. What is the most accurate flow meter? Crolius mass flow meter is the most precise for most liquid, but they are costly as compared to the ultrasonic. What is the Doppler flow meter? The Doppler flow meter used reflected ultrasonic noise to determine the liquid velocity. Who invented ultrasonic flow meter? It was developed by Shigeo Sachimura in the year 1959 for analysis of blood flow, and in 1963 the first meter